The steak was already bleeding into the rosemary butter when my phone buzzed on the counter. Sarah's name lit the screen. I wiped my hands on the apron she bought me for our 5th anniversary, the one that said "World's Okayest Cook," and answered with a grin I couldn't hide. "Hey babe, you on your way? Dinner's basically perfect." A pause. Then her voice thin and too bright. "Mark, I'm so sorry. They dumped a last-minute presentation on me. I'm stuck here until at least 9, maybe 10. Don't wait up, okay?" The grin slid off my face. "It's our anniversary." I know, and I feel awful. "I'll make it up to you tomorrow, I swear. Big breakfast in bed, all your favorites. I love you." She hung up before I could answer. I stared at the phone like it had betrayed me too. The candles were already lit. The playlist cued. Every song we'd ever slow danced to in the kitchen. I'd even worn the blue shirt she likes, the one that apparently makes my eyes look stupidly handsome. 10 years together and I still dressed up for her like a teenager. The house felt too quiet. I turned the oven to warm, blew out the candles so the smoke wouldn't set off the alarm, and stood there listening to the food die. At 8:17 p.m., I was still standing in the same spot, wine glass untouched, when something cold settled in my chest. Not anger yet, just a sick, slippery feeling that I was being lied to. Sarah never worked this late without texting updates. Never. And her voice had that tight, over-cheerful note it got when she felt guilty about something small, like forgetting to take out the trash. I told myself I was paranoid. I told myself marriages have rough patches. I told myself a lot of things to the empty kitchen while I pulled the steak out and wrapped it in foil like a body. By 9:03 I was in the car. I didn't plan it. I just found myself driving the familiar route to her office downtown. The one with the glass walls and the security desk that knows me because I used to bring her lunch on slow Fridays. The whole way I argued with myself. "Turn around, you idiot, you're going to look insane," but my hands wouldn't obey. The doubt had teeth now and it was chewing. The parking garage was mostly empty. Her silver Civic sat alone on the 3rd level, same spot she always chose because it was under a light. My stomach flipped. She was here. She hadn't left. She'd lied. I sat in my truck for 10 minutes, heart punching my ribs, trying to come up with any innocent reason. Client dinner that ran long? Emergency deadline? But the building lights on her floor were still blazing, and I knew from years of picking her up that only one conference room stayed lit this late. I took the elevator up. The security guy, Ricky, gave me a sympathetic smile. "Forgot something again, Mr. Mark?" "Yeah," I said, voice like gravel. "Left my wife." He buzzed me through without another word. The hallway smelled like burnt coffee and printer toner. Her office door was closed, blinds drawn, but a thin blade of light cut across the carpet. I heard voices. Hers. And a man's. Low, laughing, intimate. I don't remember deciding to move. One second I was frozen, the next my palm was on the door, pushing it open so quietly the hinges didn't even squeak. They didn't hear me at first. Sarah was perched on the edge of her desk, legs crossed, shoes kicked off. The man, mid-30s, expensive haircut, sleeves rolled up, was standing between her knees. One of his hands rested on her thigh like it belonged there. Her fingers were twisted in his shirt, pulling him closer. They were kissing like people who'd done it 1,000 times and planned on 1,000 more. The sound that came out of me wasn't human. Something between a choke and a growl. They broke apart. Sarah's face went white so fast I thought she might pass out. "Mark." I couldn't speak. My mouth opened and nothing came. The man stepped back, hands up like I was holding a gun. Maybe I was. My heart felt like a loaded weapon. "It's not," she started, then stopped because we all knew what it was. I looked at the desk. Our anniversary card, the one I'd left on her windshield this morning, was propped against her monitor, unopened. Beside it, 2 empty wine glasses. A bottle of the good Pinot we'd been saving for tonight. I found my voice. It sounded like someone else's. "How long?" Sarah slid off the desk, barefoot, arms wrapped around herself like she was cold. "Mark, please. Can we not do this here?" "How long?" She closed her eyes. "For months. For months." While I was planning surprise weekends and learning to make her mother's lasagna recipe. While I was rubbing her feet after long days and telling her she was beautiful when she cried about turning 35. For months of coming home to me smelling like someone else. The man cleared his throat. I think I should. Get out, I said without looking at him. He hesitated, glanced at Sarah. She gave the tiniest nod. He grabbed his jacket and walked past me like I was made of glass about to shatter. The door clicked shut behind him. Silence ballooned until it hurt. Sarah's lipstick was smeared. I'd bought her that shade last Valentine's Day. Berry Kiss, it was called. I hated it now. I didn't mean for you to find out like this, she whispered. How did you mean for me to find out? My voice cracked on the last word. Were you going to leave a note? Or just keep lying until I was too tired to care? Tears started down her face, but they looked rehearsed. I was going to tell you. After the Anderson account closed. I didn't want to ruin everything at once. Ruin everything? I laughed, a horrible sound. Sarah, you ruined it the first time you let him touch you. She flinched like I'd hit her. I looked around the office that used to feel like a second home. Photos of us on the shelf, the stupid dancing cactus I'd won her at the state fair, the framed map of Italy we'd marked with everywhere we swore we'd go someday. All of it felt poison now. I made dinner, I said quietly. Candles. Your favorite playlist. I wore the blue shirt. Her sob was real that time. She took a step toward me, arms out. Mark, I'm so sorry. I backed away. Don't. I turned and walked out. She called my name down the hallway, voice breaking, but I didn't stop. Ricky gave me a look full of pity as I passed. The elevator ride down lasted forever. Outside, the cold hit me like punishment. I stood on the sidewalk staring at her car until my fingers went numb. Then I got in my truck and drove home to a table set for 2 food long dead. Candles burned down to stubs. I left it exactly like that. Let the wax harden. Let the steak rot. Some betrayals you can't clean up in one night. I sat on the kitchen floor until dawn, back against the cabinets, staring at the anniversary card I'd written her. 3 full pages about how she still made my chest tight after 10 years, how I couldn't wait for the next 50. At 6:47 a.m., I heard her key in the lock. She stepped inside, eyes swollen, hair a mess, still wearing yesterday's clothes. When she saw the table, the untouched wine, the cold plates, she made this sound, like something inside her snapped in half. She sank to her knees right there in the doorway. Mark, she whispered. Please let me explain. I looked at her for a long time. Then I said the only thing left that felt true. You already did. And I walked past her into the gray morning, the door closing soft behind me, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back and the sound of my entire future breaking.